What's up guys, this is Coach Donny from Elevate Yourself. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to make your team at tryouts, which is much more about the impression that you make on the coaches, since they're the ones that are deciding whether you make the team or not. I'll also share some insight on what coaches are actually looking for when evaluating players, and I'll give you a hint, it's not just about individual skill. The first tip is to be coachable. A lot of athletes confuse being polite and respectful with being coachable, but they're not the same. Being coachable means immediately applying the feedback and instruction that the coaches are giving you. So if the coach says move your elbow higher when spiking, they're not actually saying spike better. They're literally saying move your elbow higher regardless of where the ball goes. If the coach says call the ball when you're passing, they are not saying pass the ball better. They are asking you to simply say mine or I got it when you pass. The coach doesn't just want you to smile and say yes when they provide feedback, and then not change anything. That's what I mean by being polite and respectful is not the same as being coachable. The coach actually wants to see if you're willing to learn, and the only way to show that is by immediately applying feedback. Notice I said immediately. If the coach has to remind you 20 times to move your elbow higher, it's a waste of time and energy for the coach. But if a coach sees that you apply feedback right away, that signals to the coach that you are truly willing to learn from them and will improve quickly. One of the worst qualities to have as an athlete is to be uncoachable and not willing to learn. I'll be honest, no coach wants to work with a player like that. The second tip is to be physically prepared. I can't tell you how many times a player comes into the gym and can't even keep up with drills during the first hour. It doesn't matter how skilled you are, if you cannot last 2 to 3 hours of training each day, then you can't even focus on learning the skills required to improve at your sport. Coaches are not just evaluating current skill level and experience, they are also evaluating your potential. If you're in great physical shape, have good strength, power, speed, and jumping ability, coaches can actually work with that and teach you how to play the game. I personally get excited when athletes from other strength and power sports like basketball, soccer, and lacrosse try out for volleyball because they have many of the physical requirements needed to be great at volleyball, and now we just need to teach them the volleyball skills. Specifically for volleyball, make sure you prepare your muscles and tendons for jumping, sprinting, and cardiovascular endurance. You can do simple exercises at home like push-ups, pull-ups, jumping variations, sprints, and even jogging 10 to 20 minutes several times a week. I also have a bodyweight jump training program that will not only increase your vertical jump at home, but will also prepare you for tryouts. Use my discount code and link below to get 5% off all of my training programs, which also includes a 4-week starter program for athletes who are new to weight training and plyometrics, and the 12-month elevation template that is for more experienced athletes who want long-term gains, which also comes with a mobile training app and over 100 exercise tutorial videos. The third tip is to communicate consistently. Being quiet is the easiest way to get lost in the crowd, even if you're a good player. Our junior varsity head coach Rob always tells his players that to be heard is to be seen. You don't have to be yelling all the time, but it's imperative that you talk loudly enough so that your teammates and coaches cannot ignore you. Also, make sure that you're not just saying random things, because that could actually become annoying. Your communication needs to be productive. For example, when you're passing the ball, say mine to indicate that you're the one taking the ball. When you're not passing the ball, say yours or the name of the player that you want to take the ball to indicate that they should be passing. There is always something to say on every touch of the ball, which helps keeps yourself and your teammates focused, keeps the energy high, and also demonstrates to the coaches that you're engaged with every single play and excited to be on the court. The last aspect of communication is with the coaches. Ask the coaches questions like, what can I do to improve? Be the first to answer questions that they ask to the whole group to show that you're eager to participate. being quiet will significantly lower your chances of making the team, and being vocal is completely within your control. The fourth tip is to be a great teammate. Coaches are not just evaluating athleticism and skill. They're also observing how you treat yourself and the people around you. Are you acting like you're better than everyone else? Do you only celebrate your own successes and no one else's? Team sports is actually much more about the impact that you have on the team than it is about individual skill. So make sure that you encourage your teammates when they make mistakes and cheer them on when they do something great. Your goal is to exude a contagious positive energy so that everyone else around you plays better because of how you treat them and the energy that you give off. The second part about being a great teammate is how you treat yourself. You can be your best or worst teammate. Coaches actually watch how you respond after you make a mistake. Do you hang your head after you make a mistake and display poor body language? Do you get frustrated easily when things don't go your way? Or do you practice positive self-talk? Encourage yourself to get the next ball and continue giving your best effort and energy? Negative body language is just as contagious as positive body language. All it takes is for one person to bring the team down. And trust me, coaches don't want to deal with that. The fifth tip is to be competitive and play with passion. Coaches love to win, so show the coaches that you like to win too. When there's an opportunity to win a drill or a game, take a risk and try to go for it, whether it's a serve, spike, set, block, or dig. A coach would rather see you fail because you're trying to win it all than to play it safe because you're afraid to lose. I know that we all enjoy winning on the inside, but what are you doing on the outside to show that winning desire to the coaches? And that's where playing with passion comes in. Don't be afraid to go all out on every single play, even if you look like a fool sometimes, because you want to win that badly. And the coaches love to see that. When you win the point, celebrate like you just won the Olympics. When you lose the point, it's okay to show some frustration and disappointment for a few seconds, because that shows the coaches that you hate losing, which is actually very similar to loving to win. Just be ready and focused on the next point and immediately give the same all-out effort. I'll actually give you a bonus tip which comes from a personal story of mine. I've been cut from multiple sports teams in my life, such as my 7th, 8th, and 9th grade basketball teams, and I loved basketball when I was younger. I still remember how defeated and disappointed I felt. But at the end of the day, it's important to remember that there are no guarantees in life. So you have to focus on the things that you can control, which are essentially the 5 tips that I gave you in this video. As long as you give 100% of yourself 100% of the time, that is the most important aspect of tryouts, regardless of the result. And if you get cut, it's not the end of the world. You can either work harder during the off season and try again next time, or you can try a different sport. I'll tell you a secret. If I never got cut from those basketball teams, I would have never tried out for volleyball during my 10th grade year, and Elevate Yourself would have never existed. As long as you put 100% of yourself 100% of the time, you will succeed at where you're meant to be. Good luck at your tryouts.